No, I'm not going to make a fool out of myself this week. I'm not going to scream at nobody. I'm not going to scream, and I mean nobody, because I scream at nobody. So I'm not doing that. Let's see. There will be no mic check because my girlfriend Melissa said no, and if I can't have any, neither can you. Okay? I mean, are we all cool with that? Because it's too bad if you're not. I'm in control. That's right. I run this shit. Gather round, children, and I'll tell you a story. A tale so fantastical that you won't help but to decry bullshit. A tale about a shifty fair-weather scoundrel. The fear he brought to all men of serfdom equaled only by the inner heat he brought forth from deep within their daughters. With his tied and brightly dyed, masterfully patterned scarves that bellowed and whipped with every passing breeze, the excessive sepia-tinged auburn locks that bounced about his crown in turn could not refuse the enticing invitation to tango in step. His dastardly schemes and scams that by no means respect the limit of decency are as followed, but in no way limited to. Posed as a farming class subject, whilst hilarity ensued. Posed in this king's army, whilst hilarity ensued. Claimed to unearth a man of prehistoric age, whilst hilarity ensued. And is almost certainly most famously known for having aligned himself alongside a certain Baldwin the Lesser, and acting against the wishes of the learned of the land under cover of the inky black night, had infiltrated alongside Stephen the Least into the secret dome that was to be named for the abundance of biology which resides within. Hilarity ensues. Love is found, then it's lost, and it's found again, and then he misplaced it for about an hour, and then he remembered it was right next to his keys, which he keeps his right next to his first edition of Moby Dick that he only ever touches to impress ladies of the night when attempting to elicit an air of sophistication. The fearsome crest emblazoned across his cuirass that lazily hanged, strapped by worn leather straps and blemished steel clasps to his feminine yet powerful chest. A weasel standing akimbo, proudly proclaiming his acceptance of any and all Ornbringers, while hiding eyes that say, "If only I could find anyone, to love the real me, I wouldn't have to don this ridiculous facade I equipped only to differentiate my person from my widely beloved mother and owner of the old comedy store. But alas, I cannot. I can call on all who wish to juice the weasel, but I shall always run. I'll run so far away. Gotta get away. From the inner id inside, incessantly increasing its intimidation, enjoying intimacy with my insecurities until I entertain my own annihilation." And that, my lovelies, is what happens when the drug culture of any counterculture runs unchecked, screaming into that cold, dead night. You always end up with a Pauly Shore. Fucking always. And I think that's a lesson we can all grow and show gratitude having learned. Don't you? That's right. Yeah, you can.
I just stuffed my face full of chocolate real quick before we started recording. In between our last two calls, I fucking stuffed my face full of chocolate and yeah, because I just finished eating dinner, so and I smoked a cigarette real fast, and then I needed something sweet to follow the salty because that's just how my brain works. So I a handful of M&Ms and a handful of fucking chocolate-covered pretzels and just real quick.
Man,
and, yeah.
Aren't chocolate-covered pretzels just the best?
They are. I don't really like
salty,
regular
it's
pretzels.
Crunchy, it's soft. Oh, me either. Screw pretzels, man. I hate them.
Yeah.
I hate them.
Weird
man. Anyway,
plastic coating.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
I have something to tell you. It's kind of important.
Kinda?
Yeah. So the thing is, you're listening to another episode of See No, Hear No. See, I fucked it up already, didn't I?
You're actually incorrect too. I'm not listening.
No, you're listening too.
I mean, I'm listening, and I'm hosting.
Another episode of See No, Hear No, Speak No.
UFOs, conspiracies, and the murder, which this week's episode encompasses none of. But
hey, we said weird shit thing. We got an umbrella here.
Weird shit, fringe science, cool stuff, and fuck you guys. I like this story, so you're gonna hear about it. Not fuck you guys in a bad way, but just listen. You'll
do
like
that
it
in a good way.
Of course, and always in a good way. Always in a good way.
Oh Jesus! So Chris and I were talking, and what we were talking about was the fact that we tell you people that one of us knows what the episode's about and the other one doesn't. Well, I guess technically we've always been pretty upfront in saying that we both might know the topic, but only one does the research on the topic. So, but we decided it would be just so much more interesting if one of us genuinely did not know what the episode was about. And that's really my bad that always happened, because I am just ridiculously energetically I need to know. God damn it, I need to know so bad. So
couple that with the fact that I'm just a terrible I'm good at keeping secrets, but I'm terrible at keeping like presents and shit like that. Like if it's a surprise for you, like I'm terrible with that. I don't always give it away, but sometimes I get so antsy I give away too many clues. But not this time.
So
I kept your ass in the fucking
I had
dark.
to not ask. Yeah. So Chris, when we came up to that conclusion, I was like, so don't tell me what the episode's about. And he hasn't, but he did say, if you want to find something to do for the episode, just look up something cool about Honduras.
That's right.
That's it. So this is Jason's corner of Honduras pendejas, which can mean bullshit in Spanish. So I got 6 quick facts for you here. Number 1, Christopher Columbus is said to have... Wait, what? Oh, Christopher Columbus discovered Honduras, apparently, and he is said to have said, when he reached the shore, thank God we left these depths. He called the depths Honduras, the area, and thank God, gracias a Dios, the cape he left. So maybe that's when he left Honduras. I don't know. I maybe should have paid more attention to this instead of just copy and pasting. So number 2.
Wait. Gracias a Dios what?
Gracias a Dios.
Which is what? What do you mean? Are you referring to something, a place,
nope.
or are you just saying thank God he left?
Yep, apparently so.
Okay, because it threw me off because there is a place in Honduras called Gracias a Dios, and I'll actually bring that up here.
Okay, well then that's totally what he meant. I mean, how should I know that? I'm not Honduran.
You're about to find out, sir.
All right. I'm actually really excited, and so yeah, you just hold on though. You just
fact number 2.
You unbunch those panties, damn it.
Bring it.
Fact number 2. The capital of Honduras is composed of 2 cities, both of which I cannot pronounce, and will not even try to. Fact number 3. The Honduran currency is the Empira, and it is named after an Indian chief that fought to death against the Spanish conquistadors. Or conquerors, cool. I guess. I mean, I guess it's the same. It's assumed that the Empira bill has an image representing the face of the legendary chief, and it's Limpira, apparently. I don't know why the other 2 times it had a lowercase l at the beginning. But instead, it contains the image of an American Red Indian. So, that's not
racist.
No. I mean, no, yeah, it is. That's racist. Okay, number 4. Fact. There are no active volcanoes in Honduras, and there's only one natural lake. Lake Yohawa.
Is that right?
Nope. Not going to spell it. Fact number 5. The population is around 7.8 million inhabitants. Fact number 6, and the final fact, the area of Honduras is 112.090 square kilometers. Yeah,
quite a bit.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Honduras seemed pretty boring when I was looking this stuff up, so this better be good.
It's pretty interesting, actually. It really
Tell
is.
me what it's about already, damn it!
Okay, we're gonna talk about La Ciudad Blanca, which actually translates to the White City.
Awesome.
Also known as, by which we'll get into why, but also known as the Lost City of the Monkey God. So that's
I
cool.
am intrigued. Please continue.
Well, this all goes down in the Mosquitia region of the Gracias a Dios Department of Eastern Honduras. Now, department in this case basically is just a state within the country. That's just what they call them. So yeah,
Gotcha.
so you got Illinois, Honduras. You got Pennsylvania, Honduras, and then you got Thank You God, Honduras. I don't know
way.
where that. No, of course not. I'm just saying that it's funny how it's funny how certain things, in other countries, they could just call things stuff that just.
How
I mean, I don't
dare
know what
they?
the hell any of the names of our states actually means. I don't know if they have meanings. It's just letters that are put together that actually spell something. I think I don't
assume
know.
that they were mostly people's names and or the ones with new in front of them. There used to be an old one.
There's got to be
That's
an
it.
old one somewhere.
Yep, that's it.
But yeah, no. So the name of this state is actually Thank You God, which I thought was funny.
Well, thank God for that.
So the Mosquitia region is actually a motherfucking enormous forest, which is
And that's where all the barbecue comes from, right?
Actually, no. The mesquite tree. This is actually Mosquitia. Basically,
So this is where
mosquito.
mosquitoes are born.
Man, I bet you there's tons of them.
Yeah.
Well, it's a rainforest, actually. It's Honduras' rainforest,
Swamp
which
and stuff out there. Gross.
is big enough to be called Little Amazon, the Little Amazon by some. It's 32,000 square miles.
I would be a little more impressed if it were called the Bigger Amazon.
Or just, well, no, I don't know.
That's just me, though.
The mosquito hawks are the big ones. That's the big bumbly.
Those are the
dumb
big
ones.
birds, right?
No. They look like giant mosquitoes, but they don't actually bite you. They're the males, and they actually eat the females.
Oh yeah, I was about to say I was under the impression that those were males and that they feasted on the innards of the females because they are a bro-tastic society.
That's nasty. But that's what I've always been told. I am no bug dude. I just.
We just grew up in Louisiana in basically the swamp, but in a city. So we dealt with mosquitoes, and I still deal with mosquitoes. And fuck you, Chris.
Where they are fucking huge.
It's so bad. Please tell me more about the mosquito region of Honduras.
Okay, so also within this region of fun rainforest, there are tons of, well, I say tons, there's tons and tons and tons of life forms. I'm sure many of which have yet to be discovered, but there's a bunch of endangered species and things like that. Actually, it is part of the Rio Platano Biosphere Reserve. And I don't know why they call it a biosphere, because it's not like, the Pauly Shore movie. And
No, that's a biodome.
Yeah, okay, so the dome. I'm thinking an enclosure.
Yeah, biospheres are completely circular.
Okay.
No,
well,
that's not what that means either. I'm just saying.
Well,
biosphere. That's like a like a thing that was named what I just said. And
apparently it's just like a national park, but not like a national park as in anybody can visit it.
You know what I bet it means?
What?
You know what I bet it means is that there's such like a crazy biodiversity that's just in this zone. Maybe that there's it's a biosphere because you could only maybe find things there kind of deal. That's complete and utter speculation. I have no idea.
No,
But
that
that
actually makes
sounds right to me.
perfectly logical sense because it was listed as a World Heritage Area in danger in 1982. So there are plenty of endangered species there that are on watch lists and things like that. So yeah, I mean that makes sense. But I don't think I had ever seen the definition of the word biosphere before.
Right.
So I just immediately pictured biodome.
And if you're anything like me at all, you've learned absolutely everything that you know from Pauly Shore movies.
Oh man, you are the master of juice wheezing. That is for sure. Let that never be
Juice-wheezing.
taken from you.
Oh, the
So
90s. The 90s.
yeah, horrible. It's just awful. Yeah, but that was actually one of Brendan Fraser's best movies. I think he didn't speak much.
Yeah, because he didn't talk.
Yeah, and he had like these little makeshift dreads that made him a little cooler.
And he didn't look like a homeless old lesbian.
He's a strangely blank person. I saw
Right?
like this weird like one of those late night talk show fucking interviews. And it wasn't like an interview, but it was like, oh, special guest, Brendan Fraser.
Right.
And he comes out and he sits around and they're asking him questions and they're joking and they're doing whatever, but the way he came across to me just seemed like a blank slate of a personality. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that he's an amazing actor and he takes on any character because he's this blank slate of a person. I'm just saying.
No, I'm pretty sure that's what you're saying. I'm pretty sure that we can quote you as saying that Brendan Fraser is an amazing actor and he can take on any role that he performs because he's such a blank slate as a human being. So,
Well, I mean, as usual, you can interpret it any way you so choose, but I'm specifically saying that is not exactly what I mean. What I'm saying is that he seems more fun and like more like a real person and not like some weird alien clone
I figured
robot.
you meant like the boring flesh-colored clay that he was made out of is starting to melt, and we should turn him into something else now.
Well, that might actually be the case, but no, I was referring to like the characters that he plays being more of a real person than he seems to be as
Chris,
a
I
real
got a question
person.
for you.
Yeah.
I got a question. Why the fuck are we talking about Brendan Fraser?
Well,
How did
my
we get
question
here?
actually was more so, why do we always somehow find a way to slander like celebrities that
Famous
have
people?
more money than us? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
don't
most
know.
regular people have more money than us too. So
That's true. Well, we got to stop
I
that,
mean,
but
if,
maybe
if
not.
we had to stop slandering people that had more money than us, we'd probably have to stop slander, and that shit ain't happening.
That is not happening. It's too much fun.
Nope. Oh, biodome, biosphere, stuff
Okay.
that's in the little Amazon. I get it. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, and the Biosphere Reserve is just a section of the Mosquitia region. So it's not the whole thing. It's a section, but it's a big section. So it's
Right.
right along. Part of it is right along the Caribbean coast of Honduras, and like I said, it was listed as a World Heritage Area in danger in 1982. But the size of it encompasses 2 mountains and all of the lowland area between them and in front of them and all this fun stuff. And there are roughly 2,000 people living
Wow.
in this biosphere reserve area.
Are they considered
So-
endangered too?
Probably. I mean, they got to be indigenous types. I can't imagine there's just like one random rich white guy that decided to build his fucking house in the middle of a rainforest. I mean,
I
the
bet they
Caribbean
taste
coast
good.
is beautiful, but yeah, it's probably not happening.
I mean,
So
you never
I
know.
assume.
There are some crazy fucking rich white people.
I mean, maybe it's all fucking what do you call it? Coke processors. That could be
Like
that.
Coca-Cola?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
I mean, it's got to be cheap labor.
Probably.
Oh,
Probably.
you meant
Of
the
course.
other,
Yes.
like the other white Coke.
Yes.
Pork. No, they probably don't have pork farms there.
Pork.
So
I
we
like
have
pork
this
too, though.
giant place, and there's only 2,000 humans that live in the whole thing, and they're most likely like indigenous tribal people.
Yeah.
Which it's funny because I see a lot of things now where a film crew will go to a place like that, and everybody's beating stuff to death with rocks and cooking in all these weird things and over fire and stuff, and then the second that the people leave, they pull out their cell phones and start playing Candy Crush and shit.
Yeah. We eat gruel out of the tops of human skulls.
That's right. They're just made out of clay in our artisanal kiln.
And in our spare time, we play Candy Crush.
That's right. To death.
Bullshit.
So, do we have more information about these people, or are we moving on?
No more information about those specific people. But, okay, so the region, though, and Honduras, okay, you gotta keep in mind. Now, I never got to go into this earlier, we remember, with our gateways or portals episodes,
right.
Because the Mayans are just too damn much.
Yeah, the Mayans are a mouthful.
They stretched to several countries, and Honduras being one of them. Copan, actually, one of the major Mayan cities, was found in Honduras, and it was, it's fucking huge. I want to say it was early 1900s. But all this shit that we're going to talk about takes place after that. It's just that
early
Copan...
1900s?
Yeah.
No. The Mayans weren't around in early 1900s.
No, I was saying Copan was found, was rediscovered.
Oh, I was about to say, white people wiped them out a long time ago. High five, right? Am I right?
High fives. But actually, the final disappearance of them, I say disappearance because from what I hear, it is more of a disappearance than actually a complete annihilation scenario. So, yeah, we don't know where they went after they abandoned all their major cities and wound up, what we think is roughly in this particular area. Not Honduras, I'm just saying wherever that may be. I don't know where it was exactly. But
really.
But yeah, then they just disappeared. So we have no idea what happened to the Maya. But in this case, they did make it all the way down to Honduras. And the reason I bring up Copan is because it was a major city, and much of this Mosquitia region of Honduras has never been discovered. Never been explored.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's so remote.
It's just treacherous
Yeah, it is extremely treacherous, and it's just one of those countries that's been left alone so far for quite a while. And I don't know why it seems like some countries can be so huge and vastly unexplored, and yet those are the last ones that explorers seem to look at. I don't know what it is, but in this case,
the immensely dense jungle probably puts a damper on that.
It's pretty intimidating.
We have helicopters.
It's pretty intimidating.
That's a thing, right? Helicopters?
It is
now. Are those a thing that the government just tell me that we have?
Yeah, no, we have them. We're gonna get into flying machines and such here pretty soon.
Ooh.
So
I'm guessing we're gonna be talking about possibly Flintstone-esque flying machines.
I wish. No.
So there was like a pterodactyl strapped to the back or something.
That would have been so cool, but no, really what's going on here is that we've already found one major city in this area, in this country, and then after that, it's basically been largely unexplored. So, we have some people having gone in, and there have been some explorers over the years, but nobody really makes it very far before they either run out of money, run out of supplies, or their guides just quit on them, or whatever has happened. But nobody has really found very much of anything past Copan that was
Gotcha.
even remotely that size or that significant to the culture. However, we do know.
Sounds like right around there is where the dysentery would probably kick in real good.
Oh my God. Fuck, that's terrible. But we do know that obviously the Mayan were not the first and only inhabitants of this country, or any country that they passed through.
Obviously?
Well, we know this because we know that they only existed as a culture between this period and this period. So, and
right. And we found things from before that period.
Humans existed before that period. So when you say Christopher Columbus, which I'll also get into again, I'll mention again later, but when you say Christopher Columbus discovered Honduras, that's bullshit, and that's one of those main things that people bitch about, is that just because white people had never seen it before doesn't mean nobody knew it existed.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah,
so
America wasn't discovered.
Exactly. So
natives lived here really long a while ago. But let's go ahead and just assume that when we say this place or that place was discovered, we mean by white people.
Right, exactly. That's a pretty safe assumption. So in this case, we do know that the Maya were not the first inhabitants of this country or this region. So, but we don't know very much of anything about who was there before that. We don't know a whole lot. So we have. This is going to be fun. You'll love this. We have Hernán Cortés de Monroy y Pizarro Altamirano, who is the Marquis of the Valley of Oaxaca.
Dude, you're good at that. You're good at that. You should be Spanish. Are you Spanish?
Maybe just a little bit. And I'm really terrible at it. When I actually talk to my Mexican friends, they make fun of me, but that's okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say the fact
give them
that you
shit
kind of
too.
are. I'm gonna go ahead and say that was pretty bad.
It really is bad, but this guy's got
terrible.
such a long fucking name, it's just hard for me to say it all at once. But the Marquis of the Valley of Oaxaca is pretty
that
cool.
the Cortez that we would have read about in school? Or is that a different Cortez?
I think it's a different Cortez, yeah. Yeah, it's a different one. Oaxaca is actually my favorite Mexican cheese.
Really?
It's fucking delicious. It's like
Mine is
mozzarella.
Mine is nacho.
Nacho. That's what
the
I call
best
my
Mexican
phone.
cheese. You call your phone nacho?
My phone's name is Nachos.
Oh, your friend.
No, my phone. Like my cell phone. Yeah, it's his.
Why? No, never mind. I don't want to know. Let's keep that a mystery. You just
okay.
You just go right on.
So, the Marquis of the Valley of Oaxaca, who was
Correct.
a Spanish conquistador, who did his thing from the year 1485 to 1547.
That's a pretty long time. Shit.
Yeah, you know what?
That's
Actually, this
a really
may
long
be
time.
what, 85 to 47. That's not even 100 years.
60. It's like 62 years.
Oh yeah, for that time, that's a really fucking long time. Yeah, especially all
And
the
that's
countries
just
that
when
he went
was
to.
the whatever of Oaxaca.
Well,
Or
he
is
was the
that-
Spanish conquistador. That's his life. That's how long he lived.
Okay, well, but
period.
Okay. So he was born. So he lived to be 62.
Yes.
I mean, which is still impressive. But I
It's
thought you
still
meant
really-
like he had his job for 62 years, and that was.
Oh
shocking.
yeah. No. This is his entire lifespan. But he was a Spanish conquistador, and actually, he may be the same Cortez. I didn't really, I don't really
That looked
remember.
for the Fountain of Youth, right?
I don't remember school. No, this guy actually wound up leading an expedition that brought along the fall of the Aztecs. So yeah, it could have been the same Fountain of Youth sort of scenario. I really.
Smallpox. He
Yeah,
brought
I
along
didn't
smallpox,
fucking
is
pay
what you
much
said.
attention in history class. I never found history interesting until I got out of school, and then.
Well, I totally found history completely and utterly fascinating, but I tend to misremember like one detail here or there, which can completely change history. And,
Indeed.
I don't really sweat the small stuff, so I don't mind regurgitating my falsities to the world.
Well, in my case, it was either me who was the butthole student, which I don't think was the case. Or
Pretty
all
sure
my teachers were just turd burglars. I don't know.
you're right. It was every single teacher you ever had that was just a terrible teacher, Chris.
Only for history, because they're fucking buttholes. I don't think it was me. I think I was a model student.
Hey man, I was a terrible student, and I adored history.
No, I was a science guy. I've always been a science guy.
Yeah, I've always been a Bill Nye the Science Guy.
So, this dude Cortez, we're gonna put a pin in that. Pin. So this dude Cortez, right? Yeah, he's interesting. He was part of the first generation of colonizers to the Americas.
Okay.
And in his conquistadoring,
Let's make it a verb.
yeah, he wound up bringing on, yes, you're right, plagues, and wound up actually turning over. Now these are unbelievable numbers here to me, but over 150,000 slaves were sent back to where the fuck did they say it was? That right? What kind of armada do you have to pull up on a fucking
the Spanish Armada?
Jesus Christ.
I mean, they were the most impressive, most feared armada in the history of sailing. So, yeah, I'm guessing Spain had it covered.
150,000 were sent back toward the fucking I don't remember. Anyway, yeah.
Spain? Did they go to Spain?
No, not specifically Spain. It was somewhere in the Caribbean where they were also posting up.
Gotcha.
Yeah, obviously not all 150,000 were dropped off there, but still they were sent back there toward those areas to work and whatever else they had them do.
To fight the dreaded pirate Jack Sparrow. We get it.
Jesus. Okay, so those numbers are depressing. But, so anyway, at one point in time, this dude, while he was in Honduras here, he reported hearing, quote-unquote, trustworthy info from sources, local sources, who reported talking about a region that had towns and villages of extreme wealth, but they were in the jungle and nobody knew where they were. These are just legends.
Well, then those, I mean, what the fuck, man? Why are you gonna tell me something? That's like saying, dude, there's this totally free strip club down the street, and they're all like all over you the whole time, and you just have to call, you just have to walk in, you just have to say, have to see your password, and I don't know where it is.
See? Well, that's the
now
thing.
I'm knocking on every door in the neighborhood. Now people are gonna die.
Now people have to die. I mean, I don't know how else you can't let that slide. You gotta.
I know. I mean,
you can't seem soft, and then the crew will mutinize. You can't have that happen, especially
I thought
not
we were
out.
Still talking about the free strip club place, but yeah, no, that too. Yeah.
Well, you don't want strippers mutinizing either. That's just an awful situation. You want no part of. You don't want no part of this shit, do we?
I mean, if I'm on the right side, maybe. I don't know. Maybe just to see what it felt like, just for a day.
Okay, if strippers mutinize, it's not going to be a reverse gangbang, sir. And that's yet another episode where gangbang has been fucked up.
That's probably not how they fight back, huh?
No, probably not. We have another occurring theme, though. I think that's interesting. We have slandering celebrities and gangbangs. Last time it was.
I don't think it was a recurring theme until you brought it up.
Well, leave it to me to point out that,
Oh, and if you have any complaints, people, our email address is seeknohearno@gmail.com.
Yes, it
Care
most certainly
of
is.
Chris Barrios.
Let me know. We'll see how far you get with that.
So what happened with the sailors? They started going all massacre on the native folk, or what?
No, no, no. Well, I mean, yeah, they did all that, but no, that's not what the story's about. So, okay,
Okay,
so
that was just for fun.
yeah, yeah. He reported here in this trustworthy information, and he thought it was fascinating. So he went out and he tried to find this white city, La Ciudad Blanca, but he found absolutely nothing and proceeded to just take over and ship them all out instead.
No, seems fair.
Right, I guess. I mean, he probably killed the dude who told him this information, but I guess that was an easier way to go than being enslaved for the rest of your life. I don't really know.
I've seen Apocalyptico.
I have no frame of personal reference for either of those, for any of these situations. I'm just saying it's, you know.
You told me you were like way into BDSM. What do you mean you have no frame of reference for either situation?
Okay, well, I don't put it in those same types of context.
So now you're backtracking. No, it's okay. I didn't want to go into it. I'm just saying, just bringing the point up.
Well, I mean, you have a point. That's for sure.
Okay, good. As long as we both agree on that.
You do. I never thought about it that way before, but now I'm gonna have to do some soul searching and take a deep, introspective look at myself and.
I'm going to make you a questionnaire. It's going to be one question with a box next to it. And it's going to say, check the box next to all that apply. And the question will be, does my lover scream, shut up, slave, often enough for me to notice?
I'm not home often enough to really notice if she does or not. She doesn't do it over the phone, though, that's for sure.
See, now we're all sad. We're all sad now.
Yeah, I'm pretty starved out here. It's kind of... I mean, if I had any complaints about being out on the road for... Shit, the last time I was out for 10 weeks. That's a decent amount of time. So if I have any complaints, yeah, I mean, I got my cat, but, you know, that's not the same. I don't do those things with my cat.
That's why God created lot lizards.
And it's funny because right when I said that, she looked up at me. She was cleaning herself. She looked right up at me like, "You got your cat for what?"
This is getting weird. Me and the cat agree.
It's like, not at all.
Cat
it wasn't for
I agree that this is getting strange.
Okay, so continuing on with this white city, that was it for Mr. Cortez. He finished out his time in our story there. Those numbers just disgust me. But
yeah, that's pretty serious. That's a slave driving man right there. That is disgusting. But
it's intense.
No, there's no but. That's disgusting. I don't give a shit what day and age you were in or how legal it was and when they're human beings that you're capturing for property. And that's anyway. So,
we skip ahead about 400 years to 1927.
Nothing interesting happened in 400 years?
They tried to rebuild a fucking war-torn country, man. That takes quite a while, you know? It takes quite a while.
When you take siestas and margarita naps,
No, that's not Honduras. But still, this is pre-modern technology, war-torn fucking country. So yeah, no, that took quite a while for them to even remotely rebuild. So let's just we'll go ahead and put those 400 years to bed now. So we got 1927, and Charles Lindbergh actually flew the Spirit of St. Louis over Honduras and reported looking down and seeing a white city in the jungle.
Doesn't surprise me. He was a white supremacist. He was a racist piece of shit. And I'm not saying the baby deserved it, but I'm not going to not say it.
I mean, that's all neither here nor there, but I'm right along. It's kind of
right here, right now. You just told me that Charles Lindbergh flew over a city and said it was a white city.
I'm right. Don't get me wrong. I'm right along with you, but that's irrelevant to what we're talking about here.
Hey man, people need to know, but I get it. He saw a white city, and I mean, did he think it was a golden city when he saw it? Or was it just hey, there's a clean place down there?
I don't know how. I don't know how he knew about, if he knew about the city to or Cortez's missions or whatever to be able
probably from Nazi historians
have made a reference. Maybe he just saw a white city and said, "Hey, the shit was white." I don't know. He didn't say that he thought it was gold or anything. And it's funny to me that as well he didn't mount any kind of expedition or anything like that. I guess he just wasn't into it. But
what's funny to me is that I'm now picturing that he spoke like you just said. Hit the words for him, like, "Hey man, I was white." I really want Charles Lindbergh to talk like that for real life.
Hey man, the shit was white. What do you want me to say?
Right.
So. Interestingly, also in 1927, Edward Conzemius. That's an interesting one.
Sure, let's go with that.
Edward Conzemius. He's an ethnographer from Luxembourg, Germany. He made the first academic mention of La Ciudad Blanca by that name specifically, calling it the White City. So as far as academia knew, there was no city, and now this guy makes mention of it. He probably heard it from the Cortez conquests, because
so then it was mentioned historically already.
It must have been. But it was never called. He's the first one to actually call it La Ciudad Blanca.
Well, devil's advocate. I mean, it must have been, unless he made it up.
That could be.
Isn't being the skeptic to wild claims just the easiest job in the world? Just be like, yeah, but what if it didn't happen?
No, I mean that's great. There's no conspiracy here, really. It's just
no.
When did it all actually? How did it all actually play out? Because all we have is, okay, this guy pops up, and then this guy pops up, and then this guy pops up. But these both happened. Charles Lindbergh and this dude popped up and they both happened in 1927. So, yeah. Well, which one heard it first? I don't really know, but.
Which one was the chicken and which one was the egg?
Exactly. So, but he reported to the Society of Americanists. He said he actually said that the city was found 25 years earlier by a dude who was looking for rubber and got lost in the Mosquitia region between. How much
would that suck?
Right? He was somewhere in between the Paulaya and the Platano regions of the Mosquitia jungle. And yeah, he supposedly happened upon a city in the middle of the jungle, and he called it the White City because it was the stones were white. That's what this dude claimed to academia.
Quite unimaginative.
Well, I mean, it's interesting that it's one dude looking for rubber.
Right.
And he gets lost in a fucking 32,000 square miles worth of jungle and just happens to wander upon a lost city. Now, let me clarify how interesting a find like that would be. Mm-hmm. Before the point of what we're going to talk about, the main portion of this, before that point, because up until the point we are now, the city itself has never been found. It's just this dude at this point having made the claim that it had been found 25 years earlier. That's not actually true. So up until this point, we had as architects, as masons, as all of that type of shit who build houses and shit, we had no idea that anybody would even attempt to build a house, let alone a temple, let alone a fucking city, in a rainforest, a densely populated, by trees and plants and insects and animals and motherfucking predators, all of that shit. Who the fuck in their right mind?
Predators? Like,
hell yeah.
From the movie Predators?
Why the hell not?
It didn't sound so bad before that. And now it sounds actually really cool. So yeah, I'd have done it.
And yet terrifying at the same time. So you got an indigenous people with no tools or anything really. Not much, I guess, in the way of clearing a fucking forest, a rainforest at that, to build a city. Okay, so that's all fine and dandy, but the thing is, where this thing was supposedly, where he supposedly stumbled upon this, how the fuck did you get way out there in the first place? I mean, okay, you can only take from what the next few explorers we're going to talk about mentioned, you can only take a boat only so far. And then the guides, if they're locals, they'll only take you so far. So
because even guides and stuff of that day didn't know of this place to speak of it, right? Or it's assumed.
Well, there's always been legends within the local and indigenous people. There's always been legends of
the hidden temple. Yes.
Yes. All right, and that one is the actual monkey god.
That's holy shit! Is that where that's from?
Well, there's a monkey god from China. There's a monkey god in China, and there's a monkey god.
Monkey king. So
now, that's the king. You're right.
Straight.
You're right. I apologize. Oh shit! Wow, time is flying by. We got to go through this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, wait. Okay. So, it sounds like, because I ain't heard word one about ancient flying machines yet. I have heard of...
I didn't say anything about ancient. I just said flying machines.
Were you talking about Lindbergh's plane?
Well, Lindbergh is old. It's not ancient. But yeah, that was one of the flying machines. You got me all
excited for aviation, and it's about Lindbergh.
No, that's not the only one. Anyway...
Okay, so there's more planes to come?
It's not even a plane, but let me continue. You mentioned a helicopter, so it's a helicopter. Anyway, let me continue.
Ow.
Skipping along to 1939.
1939.
We have a journalist by the name of Theodore Mord, and he, I suppose, he heard all the stories, and he decided to go fucking find it. This dude disappeared into this fucking jungle for months. Months he was in there. Now, he did actually find artifacts along the way.
Cool.
Some belonging to the Mayans, some not. We don't know who those people were. But he did actually find stuff. But when he came out, he held a press conference and all of this shit and told this fantastical story about how he found the temple of the monkey god, the city of the monkey god. Okay, as the story goes that he told, he said he hired all the locals as guides and all of that stuff, so he had people who really knew what was going on. They were just as much in danger as he was, so, who better to go with? So
that is freaking awesome.
Along the way, the locals told stories about the White City and about the city of the monkey god. Not sure if those two are synonymous with each other at this point, but they told about this city, how when you find it, there will be a long stairway with effigies of monkeys along all the way up to the statue at the top of the monkey god himself.
Okay, I'm gonna pull a Zach Morris timeout real quick, and only you can hear me. Nobody else can. This is really fucking interesting, and I don't want you to rush it. Can we do a follow-up episode this week? With,
I don't see why not.
Actual temple stuff. Like, do you have enough to even do another maybe 30, 45 minute thing?
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah, dude. Because I think the long stairway leading up to, surrounded by effigies of the monkey god leading up to the temple is like an awesome little cliffhanger to stop on here. So,
all right.
So okay, I'm gonna time us back in here in a second. So just act natural.
Got it.
Just make it like nothing ever happened. No, Chris, pull that guy's pants back up and get that other guy's finger out of his nose. They'll know. They won't know it was us, but they'll know something, and that's when the FBI gets called, and that's when X-Files gets back on the air and is
Oh, I can't wait.
I guess. So.
Scully.
All right. Time in.
I've had such fond dreams that involved Agent Scully. We're back. Anyway. So, the monkey god at the top of the stairs. This temple, I'm getting a picture in my mind, is just, what a fucking find that would have been, huh?
No shit. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, if that exists and that dude found it, I mean, that's insane. That is insane.
So you can look this dude up. He actually wrote a book about it. So, yeah, if you want to, Theodore Mord. The story is fantastical, and it's wonderful.
The name of the book is The Story is Fantastical?
The name of the book, actually, is The Lost City of the Monkey God.
Okay, because I swear to God, I wasn't even being funny. I was just, like, repeating it, just,
This story is fantastical.
Would hear it, because that really would be... That would be a good name for a book about that experience.
I think The Princess Bride should have been named This Story is Fantastical.
I think The Princess Bride should have been named Just Give Me Some More Andre the Giant.
I don't
need this other douche. Just Andre me up, man. Just fill me with Andre.
I was an Indigo fan, though. I mean, they killed his father.
Was. I mean, and it's time to just prepare to die. So, Chris,
I love it. Yes,
I think
sir.
This is a good stopping point for the week, unless you got another little tidbit that you'd like to throw in for memory's sake.
No, man, we're gonna cut it right there. Just keep in mind the long stairway with monkey effigies leading up to the top of the temple with a giant monkey god statue, and picture whatever you want.
A cool visual. That is such cool in my head. That is such a cool visual.
It's so cool. But the fun thing is, okay, here is my last little tidbit. The fun thing is, the Mayans are not known for worshiping a monkey god.
No, that's what I was thinking. It's always like snakes and dragons and shit like that.
Oh.
I've never seen monkey. So yeah, I'm intrigued as all get out, man. I'll get
it. Good.
So,
this is going to be a part 2. I did it yet again.
And, as far as our parts 2 are concerned, you'll have it this week. So this ain't taking the place of next week's episode.
Nope.
This is going to be an extra little present in your inbox for you this week. Yeah, it's going to be good.
I'm going to hit you with a 2-piece. And you know what? I always try to find something that's not going to be a whole lot of work for me because I'm fucking lazy, but it all... I just come up with cool shit. I don't know what it is.
It gets absorbed. I love it. I'm excited. I'm excited, especially since you and I are not going to wait days to record this. We'll probably do this tomorrow, so I'll learn before everybody else does.
Oh man, so, you're gonna love the finale. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be great.
Oh, good. So hit them with our email one more time before we head out.
All right, man. Well, if you want to hit us up, let us know we suck, or just I don't know, whatever. Get us, drop us a line at see no, hear no, speak no pod at gmail.com, and we might tell you, hey, we might say let's go have a beer, or we might say eat a dick. Who knows?
It's probably more likely either for the last or nothing. We are busy,
especially if you're not one of the people that we mentioned in one of the previous episodes. If you're not on the toilet at the time that you send us the email or stuck in traffic, we're liable to tell you to kick rocks. But
I'm calling the cops. I get an email from somebody that's not taking a shit or stuck in traffic. I'm calling the police because we set rules for a reason, Chris. We
God
set
damn
them
it.
Because this is a society that we live in that is bounded by rules.
We need order.
A society without rules is chaos, Chris.
Which is why I'm still working on my own religion. We may never get into that. I may never, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I just got a little scared when you said that we were making one, so yeah.
Anyway, the Lost City of the Monkey God. Next time, very shortly. We'll see you kids later.
Yeah, same bat time, different Bat channel though.
Indeed. He's been Jason
you
Rambo.
can't find the channel. You just didn't like Batman enough, did you? Yeah, I've been Jason Rambo.
And I've been Chris Barrios, once again, for your ear holes.
And you have just listened to another amazing episode of See No, Hear No, Speak No.
UFOs, conspiracies, and murder.
I love it. All right, buddy. Good show. Good show.
Peace, love, and bacon grease.
3, 2, 1, and...
Dude.